Hey there, welcome to Tod Talks, the podcast where we're shining a light on brilliant local businesses making life better for families with little ones. I'm Bill from Toddler Belt, and in each episode, we'll have a natter with one of our amazing partners, finding out what makes them tick, how they're helping parents, and how being part of the Toddler Belt family is helping them thrive. So grab a cuppa, put your feet up if the kids will let you, and let's dive in. Hi Larry, thank you so much for coming. I'm not going to take over. In your own words, why don't you tell us who you are and what you do?
Thank you. Hi, I'm Larri. My business is LarenaDoula, and I am a birth and postnatal doula.
I know a little bit about this, but look, for argument's sake, what does that mean?
Yeah, so as a birth doula, mums or parents hire me in pregnancy, and I basically will do all your antenatal appointments or hypnobirthing if that's what you're interested in, and I'm there to support you and be that continuity of care throughout your pregnancy, which can be lacking in the maternity system at the moment, and I am then with you when you give birth, wherever that may be, if that's at home or in hospital, a birth centre or in surgery. And I'm that support. I'm the person you can look to for reassurance that everything is okay, and the support to your birth partner as well, making sure that they're comfortable and happy. And in terms of postnatal doulaing, I am there in the early weeks, in the first few days of you giving birth, to help establish breastfeeding, sleeping, handling your baby if that's something you're not confident in, and basically being your biggest cheerleader in the postnatal period. I am there for your mother's intuition and reassuring you that you're doing a great job as a mum.
Well, there's a lot in that.
Yeah. So
let's sort of like dissect some of that. Mm-hmm. Let's roll it right back to the beginning.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, mm-hmm. a couple are planning a pregnancy,
yeah.
or they're starting to try. When do they need to start including you into the plan?
So often mums or parents will reach out to me after they've had their booking appointment or their first scan. Usually the appointments around that time can be very vague, and not in detail, and mums are kind of left with what happens next. They're thinking already about their birth, and the system isn't really designed in that way at the moment to start talking about things like that early on in pregnancy. So they may reach out to a doula to sort of get a bit more info about what happens next, or address some of the feelings that they're having, excitement, anxieties. They may have had a previous traumatic experience and they just want to be more prepared. So that's when they would reach out to a doula to sort of talk things through a bit more and get some experience support.
So we're looking at sort of like the 12-week scan, sort of.
Yeah.
Start exploring this first few months. So, and what type of people? Like, I'm going to be absolutely honest. Mm-hmm. When we had our children, so Florence was born in 2018. This was completely new to me.
Yeah.
Like, hypnobirthing was thrown out as an idea by Emily. So, hey, should we do this? And I was just like, what is it? Mm-hmm. Like, and we didn't really travel down that route. But like, yeah. I think since I'm being in this world a little bit more, I've learned a little bit more, and it does sound pretty cool.
Yeah. Like
the hypnobirthing and all the other stuff on set. Like we did NCT, mm-hmm. Brilliant service, but we didn't know anything else existed.
Yeah.
So how is it different? What type of customer you like engages with you? And like from my bit of research and speaking to you, it is there for everybody, but you're also advocating the birth plan. You're a one-stop shop.
Yes. So women don't need help to give birth, but society has made them think that they do need help. Also, growing up as, women in a patriarchal society, we've watched things like in Hollywood movies, women giving birth, their water's going, and then the next minute they're being rushed to hospital and they're pushing the baby out. And they have all these preconceived ideas of what birth is going to look like for them. And
we all know that friend with a 30-hour labour.
Yeah. And everyone talks about their sort of negative birth stories, and that's valid for them as well because they're processing that. But so, like, without realising, all that information information is going into your subconscious, and you may be worried about birth without even realizing it. It may not even surface until you're in labor. So something like hypnobirthing, where we sort of rework the neural pathways by listening to hypnobirthing scripts, where we are really influencing that positive mindset towards birth, reassuring yourself that this is something your body is capable of, can help sort of mitigate those fears coming up when you're in labour. And it's not about like breathing your baby out, although breathing techniques are fantastic. It's not woo-woo, it's like scientifically backed. Another way to look at it is like, as a mum or woman growing a baby, like, you should be treated like a queen. Like, you should be taking in that self-care and looking after yourself. Like, you're already doing something amazing every moment of the day by growing your baby. So when you attend like hypnobirthing courses, or you have time with me, you are having a moment to yourself to relax. You may have younger children and you haven't actually had time to think about this bump, and you want to connect with your baby. So like being able to just lay there, relax, have that sort of meditative state with like the nice music, the lovely aromatherapy and things, that's just a really nice space for you to be in when you're pregnant. And then the sort of the positives from the hypnobirthing scripts are sort of aside to that.
So are you delivering the hypnobirthing?
Yes. So in my doula practice, all my hypnobirthing scripts are recorded by me. So that's another positive as well, because you have my voice in the antenatal classes, you have my voice in the hypnobirthing scripts, and then you have that continuity where you have my voice when you're in labour, and it all sort of connects beautifully together. So that's another sort of positive thing that you will get from a doula.
Oh, great. So let's talk about, so we've decided we're going to work with you. Mm-hmm. You've had that discovery call.
Yeah.
And sort of next steps, how is the birth plan put together? Is it stuff that you've learned and what works well, or is it mum-led?
Yeah, so I will do a minimum of 3 antenatal visits with you, a couple of hours long for each of them, spaced out throughout your pregnancy. You will still have all your appointments with midwives and the medical team, and we'll sort of keep in touch in between as well. As soon as you sign me up as your doula, I'm like your sister next to you on the phone. Great. Ready. And in those antenatal classes, we will go through birth physiology, so what birth looks like, the hormones that play a part, what helps like optimally for labour, so you're at the environment whilst you're labouring at home, and the coping strategies for that, and then also what will happen when you go into hospital, what to expect, what things can happen to augment your labour, interventions, and then you're not blindsided by them when you get there. You're already aware of the language they may use and what may be offered to you. I then leave it with the mum to make a birth plan, because it's their day. And also, I like to think of it as they're arranging their baby's birthday. There is no way, like on their 5th birthday, you'd go to a hall and someone would say, oh no, you can't have that flavour cake because that's not our policy. You're arranging their birthday, so you still have so much control over it and so many options. So I leave the birth planning with the parents, and then towards the last visits, I will have a look at a copy of the birth plan, and then I will make sure that's like, I can read it like the back of my hand. Like, I know your preferences, you know that you've made informed decisions through everything that we've covered, and then I'll be on call for you, ready for when your baby comes.
Great. So I know we're in West Berks here, but how far are you serving? Like, I know there's people that keep it local, and there's other doulas that go national. Like, how are you operating?
I cover an hour radius from West Berkshire, so quite a large area. So I can do births in Hampshire, Oxfordshire, Buckinghamshire, Berkshire. Obviously, Royal Berks is my main hospital here, down to Surrey. So yeah, I do quite a large area. I like to be within an hour of your phone call.
Okay, and I think that's really honourable. Like, we're serving businesses. Like, we're serving locally, but like, we're trying to do that everywhere. Like
Yeah.
we are that magazine to get in the parents' hands locally, but we are serving everywhere.
Yeah.
That's what we're trying to deliver. So it's really nice to narrow down that niche and like you the practices you're sort of already preaching.
Mm-hmm.
So just talk to me about your day to day. So obviously we're here today, but like, are you on call? Could you expect are there customers that are, what does your sort of standard day to day or like normal week look like?
Yeah, so I'm not on call at the moment. When I am on call, that's from 38 weeks with a mum, and I'm literally, I have no plans whilst I'm on call until the baby's there. But day to day at the moment, I'm doing a lot of postnatal work. So I'm working with 3 mums at the moment. One was night doulaing. So I would be with them from 10 p.m. till 6 a.m. so they could get a full night's sleep with a newborn. So once or twice a week, I can offer that. And then, the other 2 parents that I'm working with postnatally, I do a block of 3 hours with them. And I'm really fluid on what our sessions look like, because we know that postnatal roller coaster, you could feel great one day and then just be completely depleted the next day. So if I walk in and see that a mum needs a good breakfast, a hot cup of tea, and sit down and a chat about just how our last few days have gone, I'm there for her to do that. It's
not always about the big pampering session. It could just be the cup of tea.
Yeah. And for them to be able to drink it warm as well. I have mums where they've just wanted a shower and to wash their hair, and they haven't had the time to do that. And then whilst I'm there, I'm quite good at reading the room, so I will not shame anyone in the first few weeks. But if I can see that a bin needs emptied or the dishwasher needs stacking, I'll just sort of do those things in the background, so that mental load that mums have is sort of lifted a little bit, that they're not thinking, oh, I've still got to do this, I've still got to do that, but I haven't even brushed my teeth, but I've got the next feed next. It's just an extra pair of hands.
And what's your relationship with the birth partner? Let's say traditionally the dad or the husband. Like, what's your communication with those guys?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so birth partners, I mean, in the UK at the moment, the majority of birth partners only get 2 weeks paternity leave. And it
is now.
It's terrible. And if you've had an emergency C-section and you can't drive for 6 weeks, that's 4 weeks where you've got no one at home to support you. You can't get anywhere. It can be a really lonely time. So I bring that reassurance to birth partners that there is someone there to help in the house and look after, the now two most precious people in their lives. I've had birth partners that have said that they just want me to help with emotional support, and I'm like, oh well, you can have a nap while I'm here, so then when I leave you're in a better position. And they're like, oh no, I don't think I'll need a nap. And then when I start work with them, the whole time I'm there, they're just sleeping.
Can I go to sleep,
please? So that's also great too, because then because I can't be there 24 hours a day.
No.
The birth partner is refreshed as well, and they're able to then support their wives well. Also, I think with breastfeeding, a lot of birth partners think there's not a lot I can do to help mums feeding because they haven't got the tools to do it, but there is still so much that they can do. So I can, one of my antenatal sessions is actually a postnatal planning. So we'll go through things like that. What can you do for the mum in those first few weeks when she's breastfeeding? As a doula, I love babies. Obviously, that's why I'm in this job, but I'm really mother focused. I want the mums to thrive so that they can look after their babies in the best way. I'm not there to look after the baby. I'm there to look after the mum. And whilst I'm not there, I want the birth partners to do the same. So I will help them with that.
And would you say, is that your own USP, or is that what a doula's role is? Is that
Yeah, so I think that's quite common for.
Okay.
I think that's sort of the distinction between doulas and nannies.
Okay.
Where nannies would be there a lot predominantly for baby. I am there more for the mother. Yes, I do some childcare. like, well, I'll look after a baby whilst mum is having a shower.
Yeah.
But in my eyes, that's mum getting the benefit of that. So yeah, I think that's where like the distinction lies.
And how does this, being a doula, how does it work in your day-to-day life? Because obviously you were telling me you've got 2 children of your own. So are they up to speed? Do they know what you're doing? And how open are you with those guys?
Oh yeah, my 4-year-old told me the other day that he told his friends at school that he knows how babies are made.
Oh, wow.
Which did make me, I was like, and how? Like seeing.
And what did you say?
Yeah. And he was like, well, they grow in the bellies and they grow bones and their noses and mouth. And I was like, yeah. That's how the babies are made. Yeah. It was very cute.
Factual.
Yeah. Very factual. I do feel like, as I am a mum of 2 boys, that I have a responsibility for them to grow up and know about the female body and how it works and be respectful. So I do try and work on that within my house. But yeah, so yeah, 2 boys, but I have a super support network around me here. And I had that village feel that everyone talks about, the village.
We spoke in a previous episode about building that village of feeling supported and being like, you can trust everybody in this village.
Yeah. And I'm super grateful that I have that and I have that experience of that. And I guess what I love about this work and what I really want to try and do is give back a little of like what I had. I want other women to experience that. And I understand why, you know, people move to different areas for, you know, a better life or work or wherever their life journey has taken them. But in the moment where, you know, you are going for a really transformative period, it's a real rite of passage for women to go into motherhood. It can feel really lonely, and it's not meant to be done. Historically, it's never been done on your own. So I'm there for them.
In other cultures now, you've still got the grandparents living in the house. They are there. Their role, once you're as the parent, you go back to work. Grandparents are there. That's their role. Like, it's not like I spent some time living in Europe, and that was sort of like the done thing. Like, they thought it was really odd I wasn't living with my grandparents and parents, and I was just like, that ain't happening.
Yeah. It is really interesting to see how other cultures approach the postnatal period. Obviously, like in Asian countries, they have confinement for 30 days and they are really, you know, passionate about the care within that postnatal time affects the mother's lifelong health. And in the UK, there is very much this bounce back culture, or you see people on social media doing really well or seemingly doing really well after birth, and perhaps not talking about help that they may have and it not coming across like they have help, but it's likely that they do. And then women feel like they need to, you know, have that expectation of themselves as well. But I think like women are so much stronger together, and you know, having someone there to like cheerlead, like I said, to be there and be like, you're doing such a good job, like you're mothering your baby amazingly, like I think it's just such a nice thing to have. Like,
hats off to all the women. Like you put up with so much stuff, like genetically, and whilst you're giving birth and stuff, and I don't think there's enough people around everywhere patting you on the back and saying what you guys do is fantastic.
Yeah.
And like you're saying, just be the cheerleader. Sometimes that's all that's needed.
Yeah, 100%.
So we've got what you do, why you do it. We've covered a lot of ground there. Talk us about on the day.
Yeah.
So now it's the big day, birth day. Yeah. We're going into the room. What's the reaction of the midwife when they when the doula is invited into the room and stuff, like any pushback? Is it usual? Is it common? And sort of what sort of feedback are you getting from the doulas and the doctor? From the midwives and the doctors?
Yeah. So I ask the woman in labour to give me a call, like a heads up, perhaps her waters have gone or she starts to feel some contractions or whatever. And then I will make the like appropriate childcare arrangements and things like that. That's all in place anyway, because I know when my on-call period is, so that's all ready to go.
Okay.
Then I'll usually get a call back to say it's getting a little bit more serious now. Like, I think I need you to come here and, you know, hold my hand and maybe do some, I don't know, help me get into a position where I feel more comfortable, whatever. So then I will go over to their house and we'll labour at home together. And again, it's just that you're doing a really good job, or I'll be repeating some affirmations, some of my hypnobirthing anchor words or trigger like sentences that they've been listening to throughout my hypnobirthing tracks. And then when it's time, or when the mum feels it's time to go to hospital, and I always leave it down to the mum, I'm not going to stop them if they feel like they need to move on from that space. I will go as a team to the hospital, and you normally call ahead and say you're coming in.
Yep.
I'm on the birth plan as well as the additional birth partner. You could put me down as a doula. You could put me down as a family member. It doesn't doesn't bother me. And I have had generally excellent welcomes from the hospital. I haven't had any pushback or you're not allowed into this room or anything like that. Generally, I've had really good.
You've been supported and welcomed.
Yes.
So that's really good, because I was envisioning, I'm assuming that they were like, no, this is shut door, family only. But then it's almost complete opposite.
Yeah, and I mean, women have rights in birth, and if they want someone to be in their birth space, they absolutely have the right to have whoever they choose there. So I am allowed there. They couldn't stop me coming in anyway. I had at my last birth a really lovely feedback from the midwife who said to me, she was like, Larri, you're always welcome in my bathrooms. So that was so nice to hear.
And like, I don't know how long that labour was, but like for a short period of time, they've only got to know you in that space. So you've obviously made yourself known and maybe been helpful. Yeah.
I think a lot of the time it's, from what I've experienced in hospital births, you do have crossover with midwives. So then you're not having that continuity of someone being with you throughout your whole labour if it is a long labour. The midwives aren't with you in the room all the time, and they could be looking after multiple mums at once. So there might be a moment where you think, oh my gosh, this is a really intense contraction, I need someone else here for me, and they're not there, and you don't want your husband to leave you and go find them. So that's why having someone else there is also a huge positive, because I can be like, I'll go find them, or the husband can go find them, but someone is still there holding your hand.
The mum's not on their own.
Yeah, never on their own.
I think what you're offering is something that I would have advocated and pushed for, because although that I felt very capable in like sticking to the birth plan, we made it on the way to the hospital. That was our way we did it. But we had Emily will definitely disagree with this. She obviously had it sorted.
Yeah, but mums have been thinking about it for 9 months in their head.
I was told this is what's happening in the car on the way to the hospital. But then we could have done it completely different. Obviously, our girls were born healthy and safe, but that we could have done it a bit differently. So for those families out there, the parents that are planning pregnancies and things like that, what's the best way to get in touch with you? How can they follow you?
Yeah, so you can find me on Instagram, so that's at LarenaDoula. I put up loads of educational content as well as what I'm doing day to day and reels and stuff, or through my website, so that's just LarenaDoula.co.uk, and I have a contact form on there, so that will come direct to me, and then I will email you to start our journey together.
Oh, great. So I double checked your Toddle About listing before we got here, so anybody that goes on the Toddle About website and types in doula or antenatal services, you put in your postcode, and when you fall into that hour radius, you will pop up.
Yes.
So and that links to your website and your Instagram as well. So there's lots of different ways we can communicate with you. I suppose this section of the podcast is what do you want to get across? What have we missed anything that you would like the viewers, listeners to know about?
Yeah, lots. A lot of people, I think, might not discover doulas until they've had a baby. And I often speak to people and they say, oh, I wished I had a doula at my birth. I've never come across someone who has said, I regret having a doula there. And I like to sort of put across to people who may think they don't need a doula, your first birth isn't a trial run for your second. It is a profound experience for your whole family and the start of your baby's life. So don't be scared to have that self-care for you and your baby when it is your first birth. Don't think about investing in the really expensive prams and all that sort of thing. Think about you. I'm not there to take away anything from the birth partners. It's still very much their experience as well. I'm there to gently encourage them and, give them pointers and things to do which they can help their wives or partners have their babies. I'm not going to take over that space or take that experience away from you either. So I'm just as beneficial to you as a whole, as a couple, because I can also give the partners things that they can do in the birth space as well. Instead of thinking, well, like you said earlier, going on the way there and just finding out what you need to do, you already feel involved in the whole process before you get there.
I think that's really a nice note to sort of finish on. It's not as much as mum is business end. But let's all together make her feel the most comfortable that she can. I think that's the brilliant role of the birth partner and the doula can make that happen seamlessly.
Yeah. And if mums feel that, you want mums to let go in labour and listen to their bodies. If you as a mum feel like actually you're going to be really concerned about your partner and worried about how they may react when they see you in labour, then do it for them, because having a doula there can benefit that birth partner as well. Like I said, treat yourself to that space where you can birth your baby and not have to worry about everyone else in the room, because at that moment it should always be about you. So that I think that's really important.
Great. Well, thank you so much for coming. You've educated me, and hopefully everybody else as well. You've sort of brought me up to speed on what's available and why you guys do what you do.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Look, thank you very much. Look, I always try and say, let's catch up in a year or 18 months' time and see where the story is then.
Yeah, I'd love that.
Brilliant. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Cheers. So that's it for today's episode of Tod Talks. Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you found something helpful, heartwarming, or just plain inspiring from today's chat. If you're a parent listening, I'd love to know, what do you want to hear more of? More behind the scenes with local classes, tips from experts, honest stories from fellow parents? Drop me a message at todtalks@toddleabout.co.uk. This podcast is for you, and your voice really matters. And if you're a local business helping families and thinking, I'd love to be part of this, well, you can. Get in touch and we'll have a chat about how we can shine a light on what you do and connect you with families who need you. So until next time, take care, give your little ones an extra cuddle today, and remember, we're in this together.